So I'm going to do another video today. We're going to talk about psychic protection. We're going to talk about dimensional awareness, multidimensional reality, and magic. So basically I made me another checklist here because I get really off track. So I want to make sure that I stay a little bit more on track here. So let's begin. So first off, the first thing on my list is psychic protection. And so for me, I choose to take the stance of psychic protection for the simple fact that I just really don't have a desire to go after anybody spiritually, but I notice there's a lot of people that are running around spiritually trying to cause things to happen to others, and a lot of it's done unconscious, and a lot of it's done consciously, and through my meditations and my travels and everything, I've discovered some things in the spiritual realms, and really, I guess I choose to take the approach of a bit of a spiritual police in a way that if you bring it in front of me and my attention, then I'm not going to be able to ignore it. So that's all I'm trying to say there. Multidimensional awareness. So being aware of the multidimensional reality that exists around you is very, very important when it comes to anything if you want to create something in your life consciously. Now, if you just want to make it unconscious, that's a different story. Because, we have parts of ourselves that run around doing all kinds of things, regardless if we're conscious or not. And sometimes they're doing good, sometimes they're doing bad. And in the spiritual realms, it's, in our image, and they look like us. So if there's parts of our soul that's running around doing bad things, you better get a check on yourself, basically, right? So basically, psychic protection and magic, to have those fully, you need to have a multidimensional awareness. If you choose a life where you don't have the conscious awareness of the psychic realms or the spiritual realms, then it's not as big of a deal. But if you are choosing a conscious life, then you definitely need to explore the idea of multidimensional reality. And for me, it's not just a layering of dimensions. There's these bubbly dimensions and stuff that as you walk and stuff, you'll go through one doorway into another, and that little space that you walked through was actually a separate experience of time in reality itself, meaning things that happen in that space will be different than something will happen when you go through the next little, and that can be anywhere, just bubbles and squares, and I like to look at it as this huge maze that's put over the earth, and that's just a different part of multidimensional reality than people really think about. Most people think about this layering of alternate realities, and that's there too, but that's different. And what is magic and what is a witch? So I choose to use the term witch. Personally, shaman witch. I say that I'm a shaman witch gypsy. I have the soul of a gypsy. I have the blood of a gypsy. I have, basically, magic is something where you're using your will to create something consciously, right? What is a witch? A witch is someone that is able to work energies into a desired goal for herself, himself, or others. I prefer the term witch. I do not like the term Wicca as much. Other people like that. But I do claim pagan. I am very much pagan. I support the Divine Feminine Mother in all her forms, and her consort. Yeah. So there's a lot I want to say, but I don't want to offend because the term witch has been kind of thrown under the rug, and people want to try to support other terms. And to me, a witch is a shaman. they're the same thing, really. It's just came from different places where the word was rooted. When you think of a witch, you think a little more of someone that works with the cycles and the changes in the seasons, but shamans do the same thing. So reality and awareness. So that's the other thing I was talking about earlier, is just you want to be aware of your reality, dimensional reality, and you want to start training yourself to see those portals and stuff in the world around you, because you're going to see doorways between two trees as you're walking in nature. And if you go through those doorways, your spiritual world is going to be different than what it was on the other, before you walk through those doorways. So I just mentioned the Mother Goddess. So I am here in support of the Earth Mother, the Divine Feminine, and her consort. Like I said, my website is goddessestemple.com, and that is, I'm here in support of her and her consort, like I said. She is the Earth Mother, Mother Earth herself. A few of her embodiments that I'm going to say, but I won't go into more than that, is she is the Earth Mother. She was also Lilith. She is Lilith. She is Sophia. She is Isis. And she is Hecate, along with many, many other things. And those are just a few that I want to point out. Very, very important to her. They're parts of her, you could say her soul as a goddess, as the Earth Mother. Depending on how you want to look at her and what you consider her to be. So time and malleability or flexibility of time. So time is not actually set in stone. It's something that can be changed. So when you go from one dimension or one reality to another, you're going to experience time slightly different. And if you are skilled enough, you can actually change time just over in the world around you for yourself. I would say that there's certain things that certain people wouldn't be able to do if it's going to cause problems for someone else. But, and I think time is one of those things that you have to have a bit of a permit to get too deep into, because it can really mess up some things. And so, so once again, I support psychic self-defense. I'm not big on the offense, but if someone attacks me, I will defend myself. But I am not going to go out of my way to come find you or hurt you. But if you bring your stuff into my reality, I'll do what I have to make sure you're not hurting someone that I care about or myself. And I will do what I have to make sure the innocence of this earth is protected. Because right now, from my travels in the spiritual realms and everything that I've become aware of, the innocents of the earth are the ones that are getting punished and abused the most. And it is basically part of my mission in life to protect those innocents. As a soul on this earth, that is my sacrifice and my vow, that I will protect the innocents. And so if you bring your stuff in front of me into my reality and you're hurting an innocent, I'll have to hurt you. So healing, self-healing, and the soul embodiment. So I already mentioned about the Mother Goddess and her embodiment, some of them. And so each of us on this earth, as a soul, we have these different experiences. Some are parallel realities, and some are past and present and stuff. Some so we have ourselves, including in animals and stuff presently, and all this other stuff. We have ourselves spread out all over the place. And like I said, time is malleable and flexible. Some people have parallel, some people have past life. It just depends on what you wanted or chose as a soul. People that are really have their soul spread out in a lot of places, there's not really a way to really tell how old they are specifically as a soul. But the more experience they have in time-wise, I would say would be a good determination. I like to think of myself as an old soul, and so I choose my experience, the way I choose to live, is a little differently than what I've seen some other people doing in the spiritual realms as a soul. I prefer to keep my consciousness right here in one spot. But a lot of people are really spread out there, and that's one thing I'd like to help with, is if you find yourself kind of spread out too thin, I can help pull you back together a little bit. I can help you pull yourself back together. So self-healing. So if you are having health problems, the first thing you want to check is your energy body and see what's going on there. Now, I am a very talented, skilled healer, and I can help with that. And I will only do as much as you want me to. If you just want me to scan and tell you the problems, then I will. If you want me to actually do some healing, some spiritual healing through distant healing, I can do it through email. I don't have to talk to you on the phone or anything. You just have to let me know what you need. I'm here to, like I said, a shaman witch. I'm here to help heal the soul. And so by healing the soul, you heal the physical body. But I also have knowledge and awareness into healing with foods. And, you know, in a lot of ways, I really do support the raw food movement. I'm not a raw foodist, not by any means, but I do water fasting. But I have a pretty healthy body, and so I don't have a reason that I really need to go that extreme. So these soul embodiments and stuff, the goal of becoming whole and most powerful within our body is to embody these soul parts and pieces, these experiences and stuff that we have split off from ourselves and thrown out there. We need to call them into us. Sometimes they're kind of stuck and they're asleep, and so they don't hear the call. And so some people actually travel around the world, right? And they collect parts of themselves, right? Because as you go around the world, you travel through different dimensions and reality and everything. And then you get to where they can hear the call strong. And all of a sudden you wake them up out of the cave they've been in for over, 1,000 years or something. And you're like, hey. And they're like, oh, wait, you are familiar. And then they come back, and then you can merge them with you. Most likely, I think they would merge at some point, because the ones that I've came across basically are me now. We've merged, and I have this ability to shapeshift in the dimensions spiritually. That's a good bit of the reason why, is I've merged with the parts of my soul that I've became aware to. So that's the end of my checklist. The last thing I have on my list is to open up for questions. I have a vast knowledge and awareness. I have researched online for the last decade or more, since this spiritual movement online has really even begun. I was one of the first people to really start researching it, I would imagine. Or I was in there in the beginning, seeing what everybody was doing. I actually had another website previously. It just never amounted to what I wanted it to, and there are some people that probably recognize it. I would almost guarantee. It was heartcenter333.com, right? Some people might recognize that, but now my website is goddessestemple.com. I'm coming from more of the pagan approach. I think that is very important right now on this earth, and I think we need to have people embracing that a little bit more, because when the internet first came out and stuff, we had angelfire.com and all this other stuff. And, well, there was a lot more pagan and, you could say, witch talk, right? So there was a lot more of that than that there isn't now. And it's just kind of sad to me. It's actually almost heartbreaking to me. So I'm opening up for questions. If you have any questions, post them below, or you can go on my website, goddessestemple.com, and you can contact me on my contact page. Send me an email. I also have a donations button. So basically, I have quite a bit against me in the spiritual realms that don't want me speaking, because I'm coming from a place of truth, and I'm a spiritual warrior. And so basically, it just feels like there's groups of people, or a group of people that are trying to stop me from coming online. But I'm not going to stop. So they can try whatever they want. I've been trying to get online for over 6-7 years, about 8 years now. My old website started about 6-7 years ago. I had some videos. I've deleted probably over 60 videos. They were a little bit more fluffier and stuff. I'm a very lighthearted person, but I'm also very strong and tough inside. I've been through a lot. lot of people want to call me soft, but those people just, they're not willing to look their own self in the mirror, I think. So, anyways, yeah. So, thank you. Hope this message reaches you well.